Hello, this is Annette Dion. It's time for Off the Ledge. It's Tuesday. I almost said Monday. Gotta love those holiday weekends where Tuesday feels like Monday. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I'm actually blissed out to see sunshine and warmer temperatures. I'm just so happy. Anyway, as usual, lots going on. I feel like this is a major week of just so much kind of coming to a peak. I'm just looking for Kathy Bale's forecast for today. Here it is. A lot coming to a head this week, so keep your thoughts really centered on what you want to see become manifest. Don't delay. Don't be engaged in delaying the outcome by adhering to a belief that there's no way we can turn this around. Because it's very, very possible. It really is, on the collective level, that things could have happened by now if people weren't so focused on how bad it is and how it's going to get worse and what are we going to do. And when we're planning for the disaster that has not come, we're participating in creating that disaster. I'm just laying out for you the law of metaphysics. So let's just make a really even stronger effort this week, today, whenever you think about it, to and we all have to practice this. It's not just like I'm telling you what to do. I have to practice this, you have to practice this. So in order to really contribute to things that need to happening. Whenever you hear a bad news story about this fascist regime, evil administration, you don't give it power. We'll turn it around in our minds and we'll say that has no power. That I'm hearing, that bad news has no power. Even if it's a true story, I affirm that has no power. It has no power over me. It has no power over the ultimate outcome of things. And we visualize and see this fascist regime being taken down, the war ending on Ukraine, the war in the Middle East ending. We don't have to go that far if we're just trying to redirect our thoughts in the moment. Whenever you feel like Dumpy has power, think again. Think again. I'm serious. Reboot. He has power if you give him power in your mind. So what I'm going to do is read from Ernest Holmes. Of course, from 365. This is the last week of May. Our flesh and our hearts faileth, but God is the strength of our hearts and our portion forever. Our flesh and our hearts faileth, but God is the strength of our hearts and our portion forever, like our share. We are conscious that the life and the intelligence within us is some part of the universal spirit. Therefore, we know that our mind is one with the infinite mind. Being one with the infinite mind, we are continuously guided and directed, and all our actions are controlled by the spirit within us. We know exactly what to do in every situation. Every idea necessary to successful living is brought to our attention. The doorway to ever-increasing opportunity for self-expression is ever open before us. We are continuously meeting new and larger experiences. Every day brings some greater good. Every day brings more blessings and greater self-expression. We prosper in everything we do. An abundance of good is ours today. There is that within us that understands the truth that completely accepts it, that remembers freedom, expresses freedom, and anticipates freedom. There is that within us that is completely conscious of its unity with good, of its oneness with all the power there is, all the presence there is, and all the life there is. Upon this power, presence, and life, we depend with complete certainty. We have absolute inner assurance that divine intelligence benefits us in everything we do. And so it is. All right, let's listen to Kathy Beale's astrology forecast for today, May 27th.
This is Kathy Beale of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for May 27th, 2025. Watch where your mind goes today. Pay attention to what you're thinking about, the conversations you're having, what you're hearing, the messages you're getting, what you're stumbling on in social media. This is a new moon in Gemini, and while it will have us going all over the place in the flibberty-gibbet way that Gemini can handle, it also is very empowering, very focusing. So with all of the clutter, all of the chatter, hone in on what is really important. And you could slip your own messages into conversations very, very easily without other people seeing them coming. That's all for now.
Interesting. Okay, the moon is in Gemini. We had the new moon hit in Gemini yesterday. Great time for new beginnings. I'm going to go out and promote my business like crazy to get myself out of this slump that I've been in. Gemini is a great sign for business, so something to think about. Good time to think up new ideas for your business. All right, 3 cards. Fighting for our morality and for our existence. Okay, that's pretty clear. We are in the fight for our morality and for our existence. Now, if nothing else motivates you to really fight back on this fascist regime, well, here's something that'll motivate you, and I mentioned it before many times, but it bears repeating. If Project 2025 in its fullest form actually happened, human civilization would go extinct in a matter of not that much time. They're gutting all environmental protections. That's their plan. I'm not saying they're going to succeed in having that plan unfold. But keeping in mind, they have no pandemic preparedness. They've gutted all that. The reason that Dumpy botched the pandemic in Dumpy Phase 1 was because he just decided he was too good for the pandemic playbook, so he just tossed it. If we don't fight, and we can start with our morality, we know our existence is threatened. So this is guidance that it will work, and the morality that we hold in our hearts and our minds is what kind of motivates us. It's like, okay, it motivates us. We see great injustices being done, great crimes being committed, crimes against humanity being committed, and we can't, as normal human beings, really tolerate that. There's a huge rally coming up in Washington, D.C. on June 6th. We saw, it's a lot of veterans, along with other people and organizations, going out on June 6th to Washington, D.C., to the Ellipse, I believe, to protest this administration. And after the debacle of this past weekend, the heinous, there's no excuse for that speech given at West Point by the so-called POTUS. And after that, there's a litany of insults and behaviors against the United States military. That it's a very long list that he's committed. After, knowing that, and knowing, like, he didn't even stay as a legit president, because he isn't, to shake the hands of the graduates at West Point. We saw him speak at Arlington Cemetery. How dare he? So that need for morality and decency and goodness is fueling the fight for our existence. Now let us not be remiss and forget that our identity in the world is as a government that was established by fighting back on tyranny and winning the fight against tyranny against all odds. He's gone far enough. He and all his minions and Putin have gone far enough in attempting to destroy that entirely. To destroy our entire history entirely, to destroy everything that makes the United States of America great entirely. He's done so many things to try to pretend that we're not, first of all, a government by the people that was formed as an act of rebellion against a tyrant. And a country that was made amazingly great and amazingly prosperous on the backs of immigrants. A country whose very identity, I know I see it, you see it, depending on where you live, maybe here more than other places, but everybody sees. I think 50% of the people that I see walking around are immigrants. Are just, you can tell they're from other countries. They have accents and stuff. It's our identity to be a melting pot of people of all races and cultures and traditions. It's who we are. So we are fighting. This week is a big fighting week. Fight, team, fight. When we fight, we win. Today, I will be back with a video that I make for members. It will be set to members only. I'm starting at like a 20-minute a day for 5 days video, kind of a presentation on how to be psychic, and also the PNN pop-up today will likely be from outdoors, because it's just, I've been waiting for days like this for months on end now, so taking advantage of it. All right, so we'll see you then. It is Tuesday. We don't have anything tonight, but we'll see you soon, and I'll do a pop-up in a bit. All right, namaste. Keep your thoughts in the light. Bye.